Osun senator faces police probe over statement made in viral video amidst outrage over alleged violent statement for the election. ADC has added the SDP candidate Francis Ajala and his running mate Faseke Oladipo to the ballot for the Osun State governorship election. Hello everyone, welcome to the program and thank you for joining in. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimale for you here in our Abuja studio. Let's tell you that the latest we know from INEC for the election of Saturday is that it has now added the Social Democratic Party SDP candidate Francis Ajala and his running mate Faseke Oladipo to the ballot for the Osun State governorship election. This is raising to 15 the total number of political parties contesting the election, which will be held on Saturday, the 15th of August, 2026. ADC says the decision was taken in compliance with the judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, which was delivered on the 22nd of July, 2026, between the SDP and Ajala on one hand and INEC on the other. And it says that the court ordered the commission to forthwith recognize and accept, upload, process, and publish the name and particulars of Ajala as the candidate of this SDP. And there's so much happening in Osun State. Tomorrow is the final day of campaign and a lot of going up and down by the politicians, and they're trying to do the last-minute convincing of voters and the electorate. Correspondent who is being on the ground covering and getting the pulse of the people in the state ahead of that election, Itopakutei, is on hand to give us some insight and update on what is happening. Take a listen to him.
Here at a popular area called Okefia in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, just about 72 hours to the much anticipated governorship election. In the past few weeks, the build-up to the election has been marked by intense political activities, including accusations and counter-accusations of violence by political parties and their candidates, with series of political alignments and realignments. But beyond these rhetorics and controversies, the big question is, what are the people saying? Join me as I go to the streets to speak to some Osun voters to feel their pulse ahead of Saturday's election.
All political parties should be straightforward with themselves. There should be no acrimony between them. The INEC is the author. They should not compromise with any party. That's number one. The security officer should stand well, should be upright in their dealing with the public.
What we anticipate is for people to come out and vote, because the government already assured us that there won't be any violence, and that's why we see the increased presence of security operatives.
As our correspondent, Itopakutei, one of the reporters who will be covering the election, feeling the pulse of the people of the state ahead of that election. What we also know is today that Senator Francis Adefaransi, Senator representing Osun East Senatorial District, has honored the invitation of the police over what has become a viral comment that he made, which has been tagged as an extreme violent statement seeking to kill court members ahead of that election in a retaliatory effort. Senator Faransi arrived at the Osun Police Headquarters in Osogbo, the state capital, around 2 p.m. earlier today. And the senator was invited by the police after his comment, instructing APC supporters to kill members of the rival Accord party seen during the electoral process in some part of the state. The senator made the comment while addressing his supporters in Yoruba language, Well, the Inspector General of Police, Inspector General of Police Olatunji Disu was since deployed Inspector General of Police DIG Ishaku Mohammed to Osun State to coordinate security operations for the governorship election, has warned politicians to desist from making insightful statement. Earlier on the yesterday on the program, Senator Fanazi denied the intent around his statement, saying that he says, according to him, that what he meant was for the people, his supporters, to kill Accord Party with their votes.
Well, we have met, and I've told them what I said, not the one manipulated by these mischievous interpreters of Yoruba language. I'm a Yoruba man. I spoke in Yoruba. If an Igbo or an Hausa or an Igbo woman is interpreting Yoruba to me, automatically, Yoruba means a lot of many things. He said, come between now and Saturday election, we will kill them with our votes. Go and look at the video. It's almost 38 minutes. A mischievous man, I don't know where he comes from, whether he's on drug or where, misinterpreted from somebody's blog. So we wait until after this to see what we can do legally to such a person. Where is sitting senator is for 2 terms and performing. For constant eliminating people, killing them, will scare people. And nothing happened in Ede. I won't talk much. We have left the whole thing to the owner of lives. So come Saturday, you will see the marvelous work of God.
Senator Adefada will say there after honoring the invitation of the police in explaining what it meant in that viral video. So much for us to tell you tonight. I will bring in you one person who belongs to another political party but supports Senator Adeleke. There are those, former Governor Oyinlola is saying that he's supporting the APC candidate. So there are support and counter support. There's a polarized support base that we're seeing in Osun State ahead of the election. But I'll get to talk to my guests and also know what INEC's intentions are about this election. But before we get to do that, let's check out some of the political roundup stories.
The president of the Trade Union Congress, Comrade Festus Osifo, is asking the government agencies to do the right thing as it concerns the average Nigerian. Mr. Osifo has commended the Department of State Services, DSS, for its ongoing arrest and prosecution of suspected terrorists and bandits across the country, describing the action as an important signal that violent crime will not go unpunished. Speaking in Abuja, Osifo says sustained prosecution of suspects will strengthen deterrence and backed tougher penalties, including the death penalty where prescribed by law, following conviction for offenders responsible for loss of lives. He urged the DSS to maintain the momentum in tackling insecurity, while praising the Director General of the service, Tosin Ajayi, for what he described as ongoing reforms within the agency.
You send signal to the bad guys. When you get some of them arrested, you persecute them and you commit them to either life in prison or, depending on the offense, or you commit them to death sentence. When you do that and everybody sees it, then the other guys will now know that it's no longer business as usual.
The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, has deployed Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG Ishaku Mohammed, to Osun State to coordinate security operations for the governorship election scheduled on Saturday, 15th of August 2026. The statement signed by the Force Public Relations Officer Anyete Iniedu says the deployment is part of the Nigeria Police Force's operational measures to ensure a peaceful, secure and credible electoral process across the state. The statement explains that DIG Mohammed will coordinate the police component of the election security arrangements and work closely with other security agencies under the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, ICCES. The statement adds that he will be supported by the Assistant Inspectors General of Police and Commissioners of Police strategically deployed across the state's 3 senatorial districts to supervise operations, strengthen intelligence-led policing, and ensure prompt response to emerging threats. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court recognizing expelled Shehu Gabam as National Chairman of the Social Democratic Party. The Appellate Court delivered the unanimous judgment through a 3-member panel comprising Justice Fadawu Umaru, M.S. Hassan, and L.A. Ganiu. In the lead judgment, Justice Umaru declared the judgment of Justice M.G. Umar in suit number FHC ABJ CS 402 2026 null and void. The judgment followed an appeal by the SDP leadership under Professor Abubakar Gombe against the Federal High Court decision recognizing Gabam as the party's national chairman. The Court of Appeal held that the basis of the Federal High Court's judgment was faulty, noting that the Supreme Court had earlier ruled on the matter in favor of Gombe's leadership. Speaking after the judgment, SDP presidential candidate and counsel to the appellants, Priest Adewale Adebayo, said the appellate court unanimously ruled in favor of the party in all 6 applications considered. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has called for greater opportunities, inclusion and support for the youth to enable them play meaningful roles in the country's political space. National Youth Leader of the party, Bala Aboki, stated this at an event to commiserate the 2026 International Youth Day in Abuja. Mr. Bala notes that the opportunity will contribute in ending voter apathy among the youth, just as he called on the youth to fully participate in the 2027 general election. The Niger State chapter of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has unveiled former Commissioner Maman Musa as his deputy governorship candidate for the 2027 general elections in the state. The party's governorship candidate, Mohammed Bautagi, announced Musa's candidacy during a press briefing in Minna, describing him as a grassroots politician and a vibrant young man with the capacity and experience to deliver on the party's promises to the people. Maman Musa served as Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Water Resources, Works and Budget and Planning under the immediate past administration of former Governor Abubakar Bello. Batalgi said the ADC is in a covenant with the people of Niger State to prioritize security, create jobs, strengthen the economy, and provide quality healthcare, education, and infrastructure, as well as address pension-related challenges through hard work, transparency, and the fear of God.
Thanks so much, everyone. There you have it, your political roundup story. So, Osun State is now counting down to a consequential governorship election. For me, it's a contest that is increasingly looking bigger than the battle for Government House in Osogbo. Governor Ademola Adeleke is asking voters for another 4 years. The APC is fighting to reclaim a state it lost in 2022, while the ADC is presenting Najim Salaam, the former Speaker of the House, as an alternative in a race being watched closely for what it could signal ahead of the 2027 election. But amid concerns over election security, allegations of federal interference, the controversy surrounding the freezing of a state government account, and increasingly heated rhetoric in the final days of campaigning, one political intervention has raised eyebrows. And that's about ADC chieftain, Chief Dele Momodu, who is backing Adeleke of the Accord Party rather than his own party's candidate, arguing that opposition forces must unite to stop the APC. So is Osun really a referendum on Adeleke's record, a battle for the soul of the opposition, or an early test of the political forces already positioning for 2027? I'm being joined by a former journalist, I call him. He's a publisher and politician, a former presidential candidate, Chief Dele Momodu, who is live for us virtually. Thanks so much, Chief Dele Momodu, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Shim. But why do you want to retire me so prematurely?
You're an elder statesman.
No, I'm a journalist. I practice journalism, and I'm sure you see me online every day. I'm one of the most active journalists in Africa today.
I agree.
And it's good to reach you live from Ghana. How are you?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, I know your political constituency. You have two. If you say local politics, Edo State and Osun State. You are from Ife. Your father is from Ife. Or is it your mother?
My mother is from Bongon.
Bongon, yeah.
Just in between Ife and Ede.
Absolutely.
My father is from Iyewe in Owan East local government of Edo State, where I was born in Village Ife. So I'm a child of destiny and diversity. Let me put it that way.
All right. So it's quite interesting. And if a born Dele Momodu from a mother from Bongon, and Bongon has a huge historic. I don't want to go to my days studying the African cosmology and the Yoruba culture. Bongon owes a very, very strong history dating back to the days of the old Alaafin of Oyo and the rest of me. That's history now. We're talking about contemporary Yoruba land and its politics. Born in Ife, mother from Bongon, father from Edo State. But in all of this, there seems to be some contradiction, Chief Dele Momodu. Now, I know that you are an Atiku supporter and a member and a chieftain of the ADC. But the big contradiction is that you belonging to the ADC, your party has a candidate, Najim Salaam. But you have come out to say you are supporting Senator Ademola Adeleke. Why are you campaigning for Adeleke? Does it portray you as a true party man, or this is just a pure anti-party activities as far as it comes?
No. When I joined ADC, I joined a party that promoted coalition of opposition parties. So what I am demonstrating now is that opposition must come together today. In fact, we should have remained together, but a few of us have started to go away. I'm also hearing that some might come back. I don't know how quickly that will happen. But what I have demonstrated in Osun is that coalition. I am extremely close to former Governor Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola and I have tremendous regards for him. Before I made my declaration yesterday to support my friend and the man I call my twin brother, I reached out to some party elders and I advised that from experience, we usually have two mainstream contestants. And in this case, I have no question in my mind that the two mainstream contestants are the governor and the APC that seeks to unseat him. And that if we truly want to prepare for January, we should start the rehearsals now. We must put our differences aside and support the main person that I believe is in opposition to President Tinubu. The battle in Osun is not a contest between Adeleke and the ADC. It is between Adeleke and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. APC is no match for Adeleke in Osun. Everybody agrees on that. They can make all the noise and all the hulabaloo, but I can tell you today that even the presidency knows, and I have a lot of friends in APC, they know they cannot match Ademola Adeleke. So why do we now want to dissipate our energy? When we came into ADC, the idea was for us to form a broad coalition of political parties, opposition parties. And that is what I am demonstrating. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two is the fact that Ademola Adeleke and I are not just friends. We are a family. He is my twin brother. We were born 3 days apart in 1960. He was born May 13. I was born May 16. And we've remained so forever. There are so many other things that bind us together. But he has been a fantastic human being. I don't know anybody. Even my friends in APC are reaching out to me to wish him the best. He's been bullied, he's been intimidated, and all men and women of good conscience should rise up. Whether you are in our party or even if I was not in ADC, I would still have supported Ademola. He is a fantastic soul. Only a wicked man will see the good work he has done in Osun State and ignore it. But I'm a Democrat. If my party says they are not ready to back him, that is fine.
All right.
On this occasion, they should please loan me to Ademola Adeleke. I'm begging them to do that.
They should allow you to. They should allow you to do anti-party activities for these ones, and you retrace your step afterwards.
I remember watching Governor Fashola of Lagos State when he said, "May our loyalty not be tested." My loyalty is being tested this time, and I've chosen Ademola Adeleke. Not just because he's a friend, but because he has done well. Speak to anybody who has visited us. I was born in Ile-Ife. I spent almost the first 28 years of my life in Ile-Ife. Apart from the University of Ife, I have never seen a major development in Ife since I was born in 1960, like what Governor Adeleke has done.
Chief Dele Momodu.
In recent time.
Yeah. So, I mean, you said that Senator Ademola Adeleke is like your twin brother. Only that you have two left legs. He dances very well. Your skills in some other things, not in dancing. But that skill set is something that have generated a lot of criticism against him. And there are those who say the only thing that he knows how to do is to dance. And you've heard that criticism, and that he doesn't have an understanding of how to govern, that he doesn't have a clue on what it means to govern the people of Osun State. And that's the criticism coming from the people, some people in opposition in the state. You are probably imagining that your support, or you have said your support is for Ademola Adeleke. In this sense, do you think that this is basically because of your loyalty and friendship, or you think that he is better than your party candidate Najim Salaam? You think he will do a better job than Salaam?
I will not use such superlatives. One, I have the record of his performance. Salaam may come in and be a better person, a better governor. I have no idea. Now, I don't want to leave certainty for uncertainty. That's number one. This man deserves the second term. We must encourage him. We must encourage those who are doing good things. If APC that did nothing wants to come back by fire, by force, then it is our responsibility to show that, like Baba Banaja used to say, you should not reinforce failure. APC was spectacularly a failure in Osun State. And the dancing governor, calling whatever nomenclature, is performing. If they read William Shakespeare, I'm sure they would have come across a quote in 12th Night that says, if music be the food of love, play on. So let Adeleke give me a lot of music and dancing. As long as he is delivering, he is not wasting the resources of Osun State on dancing. In fact, people love him globally. You know that I operate globally. People have been raining and pouring praises on him and praying for him to win that election. Your hobby, your dancing has nothing. We have governors who play golf and they travel all over the place to play their golf. Nobody is complaining about them. And don't forget that Adeleke and I come from that dual religious background, Islam and Christianity. My grandparents were Muslims from Edo State, while my own parents were in the Aladura church. Adeleke too, his mom is from the Aladura church. And we praise God through dancing, through singing, through drumming. Okay? And this is our background. And we're not going to abandon our background because we are in government. As long as it
Momodu,
with you.
Senator Adeleke's nephew, the popular singer Davido, had gone on Twitter and was seeking the help of President Donald Trump of America and saying he should come to the rescue and save Osun State because he believes that something untoward will happen during the election. The election might be rigged, and there are fears within the Accord Party of the use of federal might. But if you look at the figures, in 2022, Adeleke defeated incumbent APC, the Minister Oyetola, by 403,371 votes. Oyetola then had 375,027 votes. It's about 28,000 plus votes. And that, at the time, Nigeria had an APC federal government in place too. If Osun voters could defeat in an incumbent APC in power with federal might at the time, why the fear of federal might this time around? When it did not work, when you imagine that it should have worked 100% and effectively. Now, those who think maybe this is just crying foul.
No, it's not just crying foul. We know the characters we're dealing with. They don't believe in democracy. They believe in grabbing it, running away with it, and you can go to places. Go to any court, we shall wait for you there. So, and a man whose child had been killed by a witch in the past would always see every woman as a witch. So if we are paranoid, we have the justification for our paranoia. And we also get our own intel. And the intel is that APC sees the Osun election as a dress rehearsal for what will happen in January. And that is why they are so desperate. And that is why, by the way, I just watched Senator Fadansi saying that he spoke in Yoruba yesterday. It didn't mean that they should go and kill people. I have a first degree in Yoruba from the greatest university in Africa, Obafemi Awolowo University, 1982. I listened to him yesterday. All he should have done is to apologize and say, look, I misjudged. An old man should not tell such lies. You said it before God and man. You even told people to record you that you are saying it with your full chest, Baba. Apologize and move on. Nobody is going to do anything to you. Your party is in power at the federal level. So we knew he came out now even threatening to take people to court. Who will you take to court? Let the experts come. That is the video right there. You said it, full-chested, that you will kill people. Why would you kill people because of election? If you kill people, will you not die one day? They've imported thugs all over the place. Why? We went to exile during the Nadeko era to fight the military. So why should we replace a military dictatorship with civilian dictatorship? It's unfortunate. And President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you are watching me, I'm begging you in the name of God. We are embarrassed. Everywhere we go, people ask us, what is wrong? What happened? What went wrong? That's why I have your picture in the background in my living room here. To remind myself that once upon a time, you taught us to fight for democracy. So what has gone wrong? God has given you everything that Awolowo was chasing, that MK Abiola was chasing. You don't need all this stress. And you've been good to a lot of people, and they love you to bits. But this change, maybe we didn't know you well enough, but this change about power by all force is unnecessary. Sir, Governor Adeleke told me and told a lot of people that your ancestral home is Iragbiji in Osun State. And he told us that, please forgive me if I support Tinubu. He is from my state. We are reasonable people, and we thought, oh, okay, you have a justification. So what else? What else can he do? They are killing people, and he's crying to you like a father. I must say thank you for the issue of the freezing of the Osun account, that you intervened positively. I think that if you go in that direction henceforth, then maybe you can still redeem that legacy that you were trying to build. You don't need all this threat. These people are dropping your name to kill people. The blood will be on your head at the end of the day. Someone must be able to tell you the truth, sir, that this is absolutely unnecessary.
Momodu, is this election about Osun or about Tinubu 2027? Because
it's about 2027. Nobody is the match for Adeleke. It's the fear of the January presidential election in 2027.
But Chief Dele Momodu, you will look at things and you imagine that it does look like there's a swelling also on the side of the APC. And there is going to be a vote splitter and spoiler in the mix. Najim Salaam is not a neophyte. He's not a newcomer. He's not an outsider. He's being on the ground. No matter what, Elisha will be on shutdown for Aregbe. Najim Salaam will hold his own ground. And above all, the likes of Governor Oyinlola has publicly declared for the APC candidate, Mr. Yebamiji. Also, Osun State, one of Osun State's biggest politicians, one of the most influential, son of Ife. Today, Senator Yola Omishore is still in the APC. And there are those who say there are major figures, and you look like you look at the National Secretary of the APC, the very brilliant Senator Ajibola Basiru is also an Oshogbo man, a former senator. There are heavyweight pillars around the APC whom they are thinking that they will go out and get a vote for the APC. Things are quite not the same this time compared to 2022. But when you say that Adeleke has all the chances to win, maybe you need to rethink your permutations and look at the mathematics again. Then I ask you, where will Adeleke's votes come from aside from Ede majorly?
Osun electorates are not stupid. Osun electorates are not afraid of juggernauts. And I will give you a simple example. In 2011, I was one of the presidential contestants. And at that time, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu instructed his foot soldiers everywhere to support Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. At that time, my friend and brother, Nuhu Ribadu, was contesting. Osun people, they refused. They supported Ribadu. Despite the fact that they got instructions from the Godfather himself, they refused to follow him and they gave their votes to Ribadu. When you are performing, Osun people will follow you. They are great men and women who cannot.
Mr. Momodu, I'm asking, which of the, you know Osun politics very well, and I'm giving you opportunity. Let us do the analysis in just about a minute or so. Give me Ede. Is the son of the Ede. The Adeleke family are probably one of the most prominent families from Ede. And they've always shut down Ede from the days of...
leave Ede out of it. Leave Ede out of it. Let's start from Baba Condemned Township. The first man, Iben Ilela, okay? The first person to dualize the road. You try and drive now from Ekiun, okay? And go to Ilarogun, and before you get to the township where I was made Bashorun, okay, Ilarogun, you will not recognize the place. Now, go to Osogbo, you will ask yourself, so what was the people before him, what were they doing? Go and check it out. Go to Ile-Ife, where I was born in 1960. Ile-Ife used to be called a village. Then they called it township. Ile-Ife today has become a mega city. I watched our royal father, okay, the Oni of Ife, when they were launching that long road from Lagere, the flyover heading towards the palace. What he said in Modakeke, go to Ede, go to Iwo, where the Oluwo of Iwo appointed me the Are of Iwo Kingdom. Go and see how Iwo has been transformed. Go to Ilesha. Go to Ilesha, and that's why Baba Fadansi, I think, could not contain himself yesterday, because he could not believe what Adeleke has done in Ilesha. So what more do you want from a man? Go to the schools being refurbished. Go to the health clinics. Go and see what he's doing. In under 4 years. This is a state where their money is being frozen, where they are being intimidated left, right, and center. How he did it, I'm still asking him. When he started the Ife Road, I told him he will never complete it in 4 years. He has done it.
Chief Dede Momodu, perhaps my final question to you tonight will be, if Senator Ademola Adeleke loses this election, would you say the election was rigged?
He can't lose it. The only way he can lose it is they will have to rig, and not just rig, they will have to kill the people of Osun. I'm telling you, look, I just posted one video. I saw hordes of people on the street, praying on the street, unsolicited by the government of Osun. It's amazing. Go on all platforms. Go on Tunde Ednor. Go everywhere. You will see a deluge of support from people who are not even from Osun. Also, people are overexcited. And don't forget, the youth of Osun, they have one of their biggest icons, global icons, Davido, who have come down, has gone around mingling with the people. This family, they own a university in Ede, the Adeleke University. About 70% of the students, I am told, are on scholarship. It is a formidable.
Momodu, because there are a lot, you will wonder the kind of confusion that will be on the minds of some of the voters who, on one hand, Senator Adeleke had told them to vote for President Bola Tinubu of the APC, but vote for him in Accord Party. There are those who say that alone is also a minus. But in 30 seconds, how do voters reconcile those kind of difference?
No. Tinubu is remotely on the ballot, is not directly on the ballot, fortunately. So this is about Ademola, Adeleke, and others. It is not about Ademola and Tinubu on Saturday. So when January comes, if he instructs his people, those who will accept will accept, those who will not accept will not accept. Right. But it's a very honorable man who has promised the president of his support, and I hope that the president will not allow the rascals who are fighting all over the place to destroy Osun State. Thank you, Sheung. Have a beautiful night.
Chief Dele Momodu, I hope by Monday or Tuesday we have time to review this election, and I hope that your optimism...
Give me a call. I will answer you.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure speaking with you on some of these issues. Thank you so much. Chief Dele Momodu is a journalist, a publisher, and a former presidential candidate. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. We take a break. Well, last minute, the SDP will be on the ballot in Osun State. Well, what does this mean for the party for an election that is just a few days away? We'll be asking INEC these questions and more. We'll be right back again. Thanks so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's get into the matter which concern one political party that is a newcomer on the ballot. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, today enlisted the Social Democratic Party SDP's candidate Francis Ajala and his running mate Fasheke Oladipo to the ballot for the Osun governorship election, which is just going to happen on Saturday, a few days away. And this is raising the number of candidates on the political parties on the ballot to 15 for an election that is slated for Saturday. INEC says the decision was taken in compliance with the judgment of the Federal High Court delivered on the 22nd of July between the SDP Ajala on one hand and INEC. INEC spokesperson Wilfred Ifoga is live for us. He's been on the ground in Osogbo, where the head of the election is live for us tonight to give us insight into what could be termed as somewhat a wicked action. At the last minute, why would you do that to SDP? How do you want them to campaign? It's only today, tomorrow. Why?
Well,
that's unfair, Wilfred.
No, that has nothing to do with INEC. That has nothing to do with INEC. So whatever happens, the court gave their ruling that they should be added. I think they had their own internal party issues. I think that was what actually led to them not being part of it initially. But since the court has said that we should add them, the INEC has done the needful by putting them among those participating in the election.
You know, even from the days of Rotimi Amechi and the very popular Supreme Court position on participation of a candidate and the position of a political party as far as the election is concerned, the court have established that it's the political party that owns the platform and is represented by its logo on the ballot. There are those who will think that whether or not whatever Ajala is up to against his party or with some other persons against INEC, at the end of the day, the party's logo, which is going to be represented on the ballot, should have been there rather than just adding them at the last minute. I mean, and we've seen INEC do this in the past, where INEC has said, pending some of the, you needed to print ballot papers and all of that, we will put the logo there, but once you finish your matter, we can then resolve on who the candidate is.
All right, you know, for the commission, we are trying to be, most times, trying to ensure that, to ensure the validity of every voter in terms of vote cast, because at times you find out that parties not participating in an election most times do get votes, which makes it invalid and is not counted. So in order to ensure that we reduce this number of invalid votes on election day, the commission decided to go customize ballot papers and result sheets just for those participating in the election, so that there's no room for error, trying to help voters during election, during the voting process. That's what we tried doing. That's why you find us trying to, streamline to the number of those participating in the election. Also, it will also reduce errors, as well as make those handling some of all these materials to be more, focused on those that are participating in it. But however, we had similar issue in Ekiti, where we have to now go and, expand the ballot paper by accommodating the other ones, just in case whatever happens. We know we are not going back to print the ballot papers again. But however, this one happened, and the judgment came 22nd. But then, even when the judgment is given like that, the commission needs to wait for a certified true copy. Then the commission will go through it. And before the process of, deliberating and procurement, because over 2.4 million ballot sheets is not just, it's not what you can get over the counter or you just go to a business center to, print. It has to go through the right process. It has to be designed in order to ensure that it conforms with our template before it is given out. So it's after then the commission started the process of getting it done. And hopefully tomorrow, the sensitive materials, which is the ballot paper and the result sheets, will be distributed to the local government area.
So all that is cleared, but is INEC worried about the rhetoric that we're seeing ahead of this election? Is intensely contested, and the narrative that is on the street, does it concern the umpire?
Well, this is not the first time the commission is dragged into issues like this. So it comes like that, and all we try to do is to be open in whatever process we are taking, to manage the process. And when need be, we try to let the people know what we are doing and where they come in terms of our process. So that's what we are doing, and we try to involve them at every point in time.
There are those who will say, and I imagine INEC being a referee, and if this was a boxing match, you will be dodging so that you will not have a blood stain on you when the contestants are in the ring and battling. But there are those who will say, doesn't the umpire have the power to caution, to down the tension, because it will affect your job in the end, because your officials are on the field. The stories of killings, violence that we are seeing ahead of the election, doesn't it worry you? Is INEC not speaking to the politician? Now you think that we can go into this election with this kind of narrative? It's about the ballot, not about the blood of the people.
All right, Shane, you find that the commission did not just start today engaging stakeholders, especially the political parties and their followers and their supporters, as the case may be, by letting them know that, yes, election is not war. Election has to do with them, voting their choice of candidate. And when they go out to campaign, they should avoid this kind of rhetoric that can easily, get the politics tense. Because for us as the management body, we are not pleased with what is happening, because we want an environment or a situation whereby when we send out our ad hoc personnel, as well as even for us, the permanent staff, when we go out to monitor this exercise, even for the voters themselves too, we want a situation whereby everyone comes in there without fear or being intimidated, so that they can do the right thing. However, engagements began even long before now. The commission has engaged well-meaning individuals, not just in Osun, but at the national level, to intervene in some of these situations. And that is why all stakeholders have been involved in the process. And also, the security agencies, I think with the arrangement they have on ground, we believe everything will be taken care of.
Wilfred Ifoga is the Deputy Director of Voter and Publicity, Voter Education and Publicity at INEC. Thanks so much indeed. Always a pleasure having you speak on some of these issues with us.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Akimale. God bless Nigeria.